I'm Clare Cooley. This is the Creativity Show. It's all about calming and courageous creativity. And we're going to explore all kinds of creativity. We've been doing a lot of stenciling ideas and instruction, but we're going to continue with all the different creative mediums I've worked in. Fine art, there's going to be some music, there's going to be word, there's going to be movement, there's going to be home decor, dishes, all kinds of things. Today is what I like to call Happy Every Kind of Love Day. Happy Valentine's Day coming in a couple days. So I'm going to start by, well, first I want to show you something just zany, lighthearted. How do you walk around a set when you have a microphone on without making the click click of high heel sounds? Well, you put little stool leg footies on the bottom of your high heels, and then you're not making that click click sound. I just thought that was one of my cutest creative ideas that maybe you'd get a little bit of a delight out of. It also makes them really a lot more pleasant to walk in without that little spike. But, you know, they're maybe not as stylish, but I like the look, especially if you're wearing the right color with the little footy. I'm going to start with a poem I wrote yesterday for today, and it's called Love Light. Let us celebrate every kind of love on Valentine's Day and every day. Love for the universe, the earth, water, soil, air, all life, every plant, all resources, every individual, and all possibilities. I have a thing about poems. I like them to make beautiful shapes. So, can we see the shape this poem makes? To me, it's like a lamp. And I thought that Love Light and the lamp shape for the poem were kind of perfect. So now we're going to move on to stenciling. This is the stencil I chose for Valentine's Day for obvious reasons, a red heart. So we're going to show a rose. Oh, a red rose. My son just corrected me. Thank you. Yeah, to represent our hearts, Valentine's Day, but every kind of love should be celebrated, well, all the time. But including on Valentine's Day, why should it only be one day of the year we're supposed to celebrate romantic love, but what about all the other kinds of love? And for friends and family and the community and, well, all life in the universe, let us celebrate them all every day, including on Valentine's Day. So, yes?
Meg Litz said, I love experimenting with typing poems to get different shapes.
Thank you. I have a whole collection that is going to be published, hopefully in the not too far off future. I'm not going to talk about my working title yet till I'm really ready to announce it, but it is poems I've written throughout my life, and I am a very visual person by nature, so of course they have to make lovely shapes, and I think that's another way we can enjoy the poem just as a shape. Yeah. Yes.
Joni B said, wonderful and timely poem.
Thank you very much, Joni. Thank you, Megs. Thanks for being here. It really means a lot to me. And as I say, these are virtual visits. I feel like you're visiting with me, and that is really heartwarming. And I do appreciate it. So thanks for being here. And we're going to show today a bunch of different ways I've used this rose stencils. So are we ready to do that? And then we're going to come back over here and do some work in front of you and show you what I made yesterday, the rose into some fine art. So we have a art, decor, cards, wardrobe, art to wear. So let's show them.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
And I will follow you, and you could start anywhere. Well, show them this art that we already showed that goes up in my sewing room, which was basically a closet that has a window in it, so it's not oppressive even though it's small. And I took the door off, and it is now the sewing room. And this art I made from the flower stencils designs. 10 of them are out already. Bodhi will tell you how to get those, but the others are coming out. And here's what I've been doing, this fine art, finishing the stencils with pencils, metallic inks, acrylic paints, and making them individually finished, so they turn from a stencil into fine art, because each composition is different. This one I did yesterday with the rose in 4 different colors. This is all colored pencil, and I think its simplicity is delightful. Here is an outfit I did with the red rose, shirt, pants, and a scarf. And let's show them the all-season, any reason tree. So it's now decorated with the red rose at the bottom there, and the other flowers that are available as stencil SVGs. To my Patreon members, for no additional fee than the minimal monthly membership fee that helps support me to keep going and keep bringing this stuff out to you. I'm going to keep going until all of my stencil designs, nearly 300 of them, and I'll probably do more, so it'll just keep going. And you can also purchase one stencil on my web store that Bodhi made for me. So swing around that way and get...
Yeah, so you can purchase these stencil SVGs separately on her Patreon, patreon.com/Clare Cooley. The URL is scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. Or you can become a member for $5 a month, and you get access to all of the stencils included in your membership, which I think is a fantastic deal. So that's patreon.com/Clare Cooley. And the link is in the description of this video.
So in the gallery here, we have 2 more of the orchid stencils I'm making into fine art. And in the center there is one of our limited edition, numbered and signed museum quality prints. I spent about a year painting outer space. That was my space era. Oh, you can show the little prints up on the wall there. We're showing flowers because that just seems so Valentine's Day. And those are, we offer the prints in small, medium, large, and there's the cards that I've done with the stencils. And there's a couple more flowers.
You can order the prints on clarecooley.com/shop. The link is also in the description.
And because I have a...
Okay, are we going back in here?
Yeah, and you can show the prints across the room there, more flowers. Because Bodhi is his expertise allows us to have no middle person, no markup for gallery sales. We can offer these prints at very reasonable prices, which makes me very happy because I believe art should be for everyone. So they come in archival, acid-free glassine, so they can stay in there for as long as you like before getting them framed, finishing them, or leaving them in the glassines, which I've done. And my scroll frames that I'm going to show maybe Thursday soon, the simplest, most ecological, economical way to frame. Yes?
Meg Litz said, these classes you teach are my sweet indulgence over my lunch break. That outfit is beautiful. The roses on the tree skirt looks like you did some embellishments. Yes? Question mark? So clever. And then she said, art is for everyone. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Megs. And I love that you do this on your lunch break. That's kind of why I wanted it to be at noon, hoping that would work out for people. So that's very wonderful to hear. And yeah.
Do some embellishments on the roses on the tree.
Oh yeah. Yes, absolutely. All I did was cut out stencils I painted with leaving a little white around it so it would pop more on the dark tree, and that's the Valentine tree. And every, like I call it, every season, every reason tree, I get to keep changing the decor because, well, I just love calming, happy making creativity. And a friend suggested that it be calming, courageous creativity, is, he said, I was courageous, but the truth is any of us that create are courageous because it takes courage to feel our feelings and to allow them to be expressed through the medium we choose and to share it with others. All that takes courage. It's a highly critical, competitive world, and it takes courage to accept that really the only thing we can be better at than anyone else is being ourselves. So that's why I allow myself to show my style, my aesthetic through my wardrobe. Almost every live stream since I've been doing the stencils, I've got stencil on it. This one I don't because I gave myself permission to make this about Valentine's Day, show the stencils in other ways. But I get to enjoy the creative expression through fashion. And I had someone write a comment, you know, my long hair and sometimes short skirts at my mature age. It's going to be a game changer on YouTube. Well, I don't know about all that, but I don't follow any rules that if it doesn't hurt anyone, including me, I give myself permission. So I'm not like, well, you know, I'm too old for long hair or I'm too old for short skirts. Whatever I'm comfortable in it. And is there a comment?
Yes, Meg said, I share that sentiment that being creative is courageous and being vulnerable.
Absolutely. And I say this to my son a lot, our accomplishments make us admirable, but our vulnerability makes us lovable. And we all have it. And those who are courageous, strong enough to show their vulnerability, they're the real tough ones. People often misunderstand kindness, sensitivity, for weakness, when truly there is nothing stronger than a person who stays kind in our sometimes cruel world. We've all heard all kinds of unkind things in this world, and to stay kind and sensitive takes enormous strength. It's much easier to be bitter, angry, resentful, mean, snap back at people when they say hurtful things. And as I talked about on New Year's Day, I have the WTF file that I put the hurtful things in, and then I transform them from that what the fuck file into the WTF, well, that's funny, by making it into something humorous. And it allows me to let go of any pain and to transform it into something, well, humorous, which gives it a higher purpose. And it's always about the other person when people say things to put us down. It's about them. It's not about us. And as much as it might hurt in the moment, we have to remember that if they don't have the courage to show their vulnerability, they will be threatened by us doing it. And they may try to disrupt the reflection they see in our calm surface of themselves. And you just have to let it pass by and keep going, because you deserve to be happy. We all do. So do what makes you happy and give it to the world. So that's what I'm doing. And I really love giving it to the people that can receive it. And those that can't, well, I hope that someday they can. So let's show you the simplest way to make a stencil. This was actually a little leaf that I traced and cut out of this card stock paper. And there's a little tape here, so it came back together, but I cut it out with the scissors. So how simple is that? Find a leaf, trace it, cut it out.
Sorry.
It's all right. Okay, and then I use that to pencil, colored pencil. It could be done with paints, it could be done with crayons. So there's a single, and here's one. I put 3 of the, so I use this to, or you can use what you cut out and trace it. Here's some other origami cards, origami stencils I cut out.
You can get them close for a close-up and then set them on the table.
Does that work?
Yep, that's great.
And that work?
Yes.
And then shall we show this close-up?
That's great.
And this close-up? Okay, and so that's how to make the simplest stencils. There's a video that is, maybe Bodhi remembers the title of that video. There are a couple hundred.
How to stencil on note cards.
How to stencil on note cards. There are a couple hundred on the Creativity Show, so I don't necessarily remember the titles. But there's stenciling, there's turning this 120-year-old home, restoring it ourselves. There's turning our historic carriage house into a studio. There's so many things. There's even some funny ones. Me as a zombie, Bodhi's idea. Me as a agent with supernatural powers. There's some silly, cute stuff out there too. So let's finish this. After you show the time lapse of doing the rose fine art.
Okay, let's show it with full of that time lapse.
You can show that full screen and.
Yep, got to do that from in the office.
Oh, that's okay. Well, go ahead. I can. It's only a few feet away. So the video office is right behind the living room here. So we are Mother-Son Productions. Bodhi's named us after he asked me to work with him, and I was delighted to say yes. And we combine we're We're both creative generalists. Try to learn anything we need to do or want to do. That's why I have so many different art forms in my life. Is like, well, I'd like nice jewelry, but I'm an artist. I can't afford it. I came from a very poor family, so to have nice things, I had to make them. Yes?
Meg Litz said, the cards are gorgeous. Better than papyrus, question mark. Have you done feathers, question mark. And where do you get your supplies? Paper and envelopes.
Well, I'm gonna have to get back to you about getting the paper and envelopes. I'll do some research because I don't know. We got them so long ago, I can't remember. And I use archival paper, which is more expensive without acid. But there are some real deals out there. And I'll do some research and let you know the most frugal way to get them and the fine art way to get them. When I do my art pieces, I always use acid-free paper so it doesn't yellow over time. I assume it's going to be something that I or somebody else is going to appreciate and treasure, and hopefully it will last a long time. Yes?
Michael, how you doing there? Said, if I remember correctly, Dick Blick carries a lot. Blick Arts. Yeah, good idea. And I just wrote that you can get 10 by 7 folded paper and envelopes for note cards on Amazon. I will put some affiliate links in the YouTube video description for some of the note cards we've used from Amazon in the past.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate that, Michael. Nice that you're here. And thanks for that heads up. And we'll keep adding links. There's another message, yeah?
Joni B says, I'm obsessed with the origami stencil card.
Nice. Okay. Well, we're going to put those stencils out maybe next. Yeah, maybe as soon as we finish the 8 more flowers we have, the big flowers there, we'll put out the origami stencils, and I'll probably put them in one stencil so you can print out the different shapes of the origami cranes in one stencil so you can use them however you like. Great. I love it when you guys give me ideas because there's, well, so many things I could do. And I do art because it's healing, happy making, purposeful, but sharing it with you is what gives it a greater purpose. And so that is a much deeper reward. So I love hearing what you want me to do next. So origami, right when the next 8 flowers are done, we'll go to the origami, and then we'll probably go to the warblers, then the cranes. We'll see. We'll keep it going. Okay? Are you showing the time-lapse full screen? Okay, well, once it goes through, we'll come to here and I'll do some of this in front of the camera. Okay.
And Meg said, thanks for narrating with your expertise, Bodhi. Thank you, Meg.
Nice.
Thanks for all the comments.
Yeah, it really, and thanks for giving us that that word, expertise, Meg. That was you. We appreciate that.
All right, this is going.
Okay, so
brighter. And I think we're gonna, we can't really zoom in anymore.
You can go down further.
I'll lower it, yep.
So this is how it works when you're a two-person production studio. We work together and try to do it all. Well, we do it all, except for the most important part, which is you guys.
Alrighty, it's looking good.
All right, so I'm gonna go for this. So what I did is just with a pencil, very lightly trace this. And this is something even kids could do, or you could do for kids. It doesn't matter what level of expertise they have as far as art. Anybody can do this. So I'm going to then take the red pencil and go along the pencil line, and it could be done with crayons, paints, inks, and as you guys all know, if you've seen me before, I love doing creative things. I actually call myself chronically creative because I learned very young in life, had a very challenging upbringing, a dangerous father, a saintly but sickly mother, an older sister who fell into trying to heal her wounded heart with drugs and alcohol, and I ended up raising her two sons, and lots of difficulty. That finding this serene, safe place in creativity got me through it. And I wrote my memoir, Incandescence Rising Above Darkness, because so many people asked me to. And when a judge said something I've shared before to my girlfriend he was dating, after a dinner together, she shared with me that he said, "How'd she turn out so nice? Her story's like the women on death row." And I'm very honest in my book because I do not feel ashamed of or responsible for the dark stuff that happened to me. I didn't do it. I didn't bring it on myself. I was extremely vulnerable, and predators pick vulnerable people. So, but I'm not ashamed of what other people did. I am proud of what I did with it, which was build my creative practice of turning it into art, letting it be fuel for creativity that then led to me doing, my first published book, The Book of Cranes, and then my self-published memoir. So that's how quick that can happen. And then we can take it further, which shading. Shading is dark at one side. We just gently, softly, and then we go even softer and softer to the center. And that's how simple shading is. But let's see how long it takes to make a card. And I am by nature a perfectionist, so is my son. but we choose to take the attitude that as good as we can do it is good enough. That we and whatever we create is never going to be perfect. Nothing is. So just use the time you have to make it as good as you can, and be proud of yourself that you did it, and then find the courage to let it go and share it with others and let them find meaning or beauty in what we do. And I love being a voice for nature by using its endlessly varied and enormously beautiful forms to be a voice to remind us how precious nature is and that we are part of it. We don't own it. We can't control it. The best we can do is live in harmony with it. And so I love showing the beauty of nature, celebrating it, respecting it. I think flowers are nature's way of celebrating its own beauty, sharing beauty. And of course, there is the scientific point of view that flowers are to attract the insects that pollinate with their colors and their smells. But beauty is attractive. So science and my perhaps spiritual point of view agree. So the beauty of the flower attracts the bees and the butterflies and the pollinator birds, and that's how they survive, getting pollinated by the insects to keep going. So beauty is a way to keep us going. And there's always beauty around us, and that's what I found and tried to meditate on, though I wouldn't have called it meditation as a little girl. Just that's what I tried to fill my heart and eyes and mind with, so that I didn't fall into the despair of the difficulties around me. And because of, I found that nature as a resource, a safe place, an inspiring place, I preferred being there. Yes.
Meg Litz said, "Ooh, I missed the origami stencil card episode. Sounds fun." Yeah, there's an episode on the Creativity Show on YouTube called How to Stencil on Note Cards. And then she also asked, do you have a brand of colored pencil you prefer? And by the way, Meg, I put the links to the note cards, and I will put the links to the pencils as well in the description of the YouTube video. We're not currently allowed to put the links in the description of Facebook videos, so if you ever get a chance, you can see all the materials on the YouTube description.
Yes, I prefer Prismacolor pencils. One thing about them that I've discovered over the years is that they can be water soluble, so you can kind of, watercolor with them. That's another option we have. But they also can be sharpened into a nice point, or we can use them in a way that, okay, that we can make the the point sharp, or a big flat surface for shading, or they're kind of waxy. I often use white, sometimes cream, to blend, soften. I use a lot of mixed media in my fine art, watercolor and pencil combinations. So the pencil gives the detail and the watercolor gives the washy effect. I'm going to bring this out to show. So that's how fast that can happen. And you can see by this that I use a lot of white. And I have a no waste policy. Just generally speaking, I try not to waste anything. So I've got these pencil extenders. So when you get short, you can put the extender on and get all the way down so it doesn't have to be thrown away.
Meg said on Facebook, nice, I've used watercolor pencils for card making in the past and used a blender marker felt tip to soften the blend. I attend on Facebook always. I'll have to check out the YouTube channel. I just put in the link to the YouTube channel. I'll reply to your comments so it makes it easier for you to see it. Yeah, there's different rules on different platforms. But yeah, check it out and subscribe.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, there are those options. And can they see the pencils here? Okay. All right. So maybe I'll keep going with this one. I did in a different, just the flowers. Let's go with this color. So this one we're just going to one of the things I love about creating is keep trying new things. And I try to embrace the attitude that the peace I feel while creating, the stimulation to my immune system by expressing my emotions, the possibility of creating something lovely, those are all good enough reasons to create. And if I'm learning and if I'm getting those benefits, stepping into the creative flow and increasing my happiness, those are good enough reasons. I don't have to be looking for outside approval, waiting for others to appreciate what I'm doing. I can feel serene and satisfied that I'm getting all those benefits. Happiness increasing, immune system stimulation, peace, a sense of purpose that I'm making something potentially lovely, increasing a little loveliness in the world. Those are all good enough reasons. And I've shared this before, but this man who met me for the first time, he came up to me and said, "You've done so many things, you must know what it's like to fail." And I said, "We look at life very differently because I never fail because I learn and I gain from everything I try. It may not turn out as I hoped it would. It may not be, gorgeously successful in other people's eyes, but if I'm learning from it, if I'm feeling peace while I do it, if I'm stimulating my immune system by expressing my emotions through creativity, that's all winning. So there's no failure. If we don't need to impress others, if we don't need their approval to know that what we're doing is meaningful, has its own beautiful purposes, well, then we're free to explore our creativity without the need for outside approval. Do it because we love ourselves.
A multicolored treasure trove of pencils, says Meg.
Yeah, I love having my art supplies easy to find what I want, so I, organize the colors together and have them all in one box. And I've watched a lot of very intelligent and creative people get distracted looking for their supply or their tool and lose the inspiration before they get it out. And so I decided very young that being organized was a way to create the situation where I could be creative more. As a very, very little person, I had my cigar box that I found in the trash that had my stones and feathers and seashells in it, my treasures, hidden under my bed so nobody'd mess with it. So there's that shape.
Joni says, we learn the most from doing, especially mistakes, and we level up in whatever we're doing.
I have an echo out here of your voice, so I can't really hear what you just said.
Joni said, we learn the most from doing, especially mistakes, and we level up in whatever we're doing.
Absolutely. There is no greater teacher than experience, and there is no greater way to learn than to teach. So if we're sharing what we have learned by doing, then it's even going deeper. So they say, all the ways we can learn, teaching is the way we learn the most. And I'm so grateful that I was asked in my 20s to teach. It had to be 9 people in one day to get me over my shyness, which will be lifelong. I still have it, and I don't criticize myself for having it. I still am camera shy, and that's okay. I think it's a modesty thing, It's also, some of it I'm happy to let go of, fear of shining, because, women are all supposed to disclaim themselves and not know what they know and not be confident. Confident women are often ridiculed instead of celebrated in our sexist world. Confident men are celebrated. Confident women aren't trusted. Well, I don't participate in that. I don't participate in, making fun of women. Even if I don't like their style, who cares? It's their style. They get to have it. Why would my opinion about their style be important? It's not. I have my style, they have their style, they have their beauty, I have my beauty, you have your beauty. Let us celebrate each other's differences instead of trying to make people conform because maybe we're afraid of difference. But difference and diversity is healthy. It's a vibrant environment that has a lot of diversity in it. I get nervous when everyone is the same economic strata or same ethnic background or same pigment tones. I'm most comfortable among variety, and it says tolerance. It says inclusivity, all those wonderful, safe things. So let us celebrate, especially women. I am a woman, so I obviously have special heart for women, and we need to shore each other up, not tear each other down. We don't need to bond by gossiping about the woman who's not there. That's really self-destructive. It says to the other women hearing a woman say nasty things about some woman, what does she say about me when I'm not there? It doesn't engender trust. It doesn't. We need to support each other and bring our beautiful energy out to the world to balance the aggressive energy and, you know, not conform. We need to speak up, share what we know, not hide it because we fear competition, criticism. Let's just be free to be ourselves and add that to the mix to make it wholer. Yeah.
Meg Litz said, an important shift I made in my life. I am not beautiful like you, I am beautiful like me. I used to simply stop after the first statement.
How wonderful that is to hear. I literally got chills all over my body. I got them under my hair on my head. I got them everywhere when you said that, and I might even start weeping some tears of joy, Meg. That is a really, really, really beautiful thing to say and to absorb. And we all have our own unique beauty, and sometimes, you know, it's recognized on the outside by people, and sometimes it's not. I've heard several times in the last few years, you must have been beautiful when you were young. And I'm like, okay, that goes in the WTF file. How do I put it into the, well, that's funny file? And it's not necessarily funny, but it's poignant to say, well, the beauty on the inside is what matters the most. The beautiful way we think or act, or how we try to help others, what we contribute to the world, that's the beauty that doesn't fade. In fact, it increases, and it's more important. And so I said to the second woman, maybe it was the third woman who said that to me, that I'd had enough, and I said, well, it's the beauty on the inside that matters the most, so I just keep getting more beautiful. I wasn't only beautiful when I was young. And everyone has their own beauty, whether it's the beautiful way they treat their friends, the beautiful way they make food, the beautiful way they decorate an environment, the beautiful way they think, the beautiful contributions they make. There's so many kinds of beauty, and the unfortunately way too celebrated external beauty. When I was young, I've said this many times, I only wore baggy, handmade muslin clothes, no jewelry, no makeup, because I wanted to develop and be seen for all the other aspects of being a person, being a woman, instead of all of the importance put on the outside, the exterior. And now that I'm, 71, I'm like, well, if I still have some beauty, maybe it's because I have forgiven the hurts along the way here and loved myself, even though I've been through some really tough stuff, and healed. And so let me celebrate it and let me show my style and not be afraid to be beautiful if I am on the outside for the first time in my life. I was always afraid of getting that kind of attention from people instead of the attention I wanted for the beautiful person that I feel like I am ever becoming a more beautiful person. So we women were whole beings, and men get to age and they get to be confident, and that's what happens in a sexist world, that often women hide their beauty, whether it's their bodies or their minds or their spirits or their creations or their thoughts. They hide them because they're afraid that, we're supposed to be always disclaiming ourselves and modest and self-effacing. Well, you can be humble and know that you have beautiful things to share with the world. They are not mutually exclusive. The world needs our beautiful ideas, our beautiful hope, our beautiful creations. It needs these things to come back into balance. And so don't, as my mother used to say to me, you hide your light under a bushel basket. And I was afraid to get any attention, and it's still very hard for me, believe it or not. And my son will tell you it's true. I get very nervous before these live streams and before the camera, but I say, well, I'm doing this hopefully to help inspire, inform others, so let me step out of my own personal fear and step into my global generosity and give what I think could help others to the world courageously. And so I am. And to get in front of a camera regularly, for the first time in my life, regularly, in my 70s, wow, But the world is not helped by sexism or ageism, so I'm doing what I think helps.
Battery just died on that overhead camera.
Oh, can we show it?
Yeah.
And then we're done. That's one card idea. And here's the other card idea. And that's how quick that can happen.
Nice, looks really good.
Okay.
Good job.
So there we are.
You. Good.
Okay. Well, I think we did it. I think we celebrated the every kind of love. Happy Valentine's Day. And I really, really appreciate you being here, and all the comments and suggestions and ideas really help. And I feel you, and these virtual visits are very heartwarming, happy making for me. I hope there's something here that helps you, and you know, huh? Yes.
Meg and Joni commented. I'll read them in order. Meg said, "You are so incredibly beautiful and very youthful at heart and your appearance."
Wow, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate hearing that, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful hope engendering in me when, especially, women can shore each other up. Thank you, Megs. You're beautiful too, and I really appreciate you.
And Joni said, "Meg's comment was so uplifting, I will have to remember it too. Claire, thank you for your beautiful light."
Thank you very, very much, Joni. And yes, let's end on Meg's comment again.
Sure. One more. Let me say thanks, because she said, "Thank you both for sharing your hearts and talents." Thank you, Meg.
And thank you, Bodhi, for all your help to do these. I couldn't do it without you, and I couldn't do it without you guys, Joni, Meg, Michael, all of you. Thank you very, very much, and you warm my heart, and I love you.
Great.
So Meg's comment was?
The comment that you're referring to, an important shift I made in my life. I am not beautiful like you. I am beautiful like me. I used to simply stop after the first statement.
Thank you, Meg. That is not only beautiful, but inspiring, and it is true. You are beautiful like you, and we all are beautiful like ourselves, and there is no competition. Every one of us is necessary to make this world whole, so thank you for sharing that. Okay.
All right, great.
Well, happy Valentine's Day. Happy every kind of love every day. And let's
end it there.
Say goodbye. And on Thursday, we'll just keep it going. Maybe I'm going to show you the fastest, most frugal, fantastic way to frame, so that we can make these creations into something we can hang or give as gifts, in a really fun, fast, frugal, fabulous way. All right.
Are you ready to end it there?
I am.
Okay.